Okay, did you all get the same things that I did? H2SO4 sulfuric acid makes the sulfate ion, SO4 2 minus. H2SO3 sulfurous acid, sulfite, SO3 2 minus. H3PO4 phosphoric acid, phosphate, PO4 3 minus. And H3PO3 phosphorus acid. Now it looks like phosphorus, but we call it phosphorus acid. We put the accent on a different syllable and it sounds different spelled the same way. And it makes the phosphite PO3 3 minus. So now when we start to look at these, you really have to know those ions. And the halogens are different because they can make 4 different acids, not just 2 acids. So we have to have different names for all 4 acids. So that's where the hypo and the per come in. We use a prefix and a suffix. The prefix hypo means less than. Hypoallergenic, you know that, less allergy. Hypo means less oxygens than the ite. Per comes from hyper, like hyperactive. Per means more oxygen than the 8. So when we look at the halogens, all we have to do is recognize that it's a halogen, it's in that fluorine family, and then we can say, well, if it's 1 oxygen, it's hypo, and then the root of the nonmetal's name, us. 2 oxygens is the root, us. 3 is ic. 4 is per ic. So I put the chlorinated oxoacids as an example. And these are the ions that are on your ion sheet that I told you to start working with. But you're going to apply those same rules to all of the halogens, even though they're not on your ion sheet.
Are there other ones besides the halogens that are?
Well, there's permanganate, but that's kind of different because manganese is a metal. So it's a weird anion because it has a metal in it. So we just kind of roll with that one. So HClO, AQ, hypochlorous acid. If we take the proton off, we make the hypochlorite ion. We leave the prefix and suffix. HClO2, chlorous acid, becomes chlorite. HClO3, chloric acid, becomes chlorate. And HClO4, perchloric acid, becomes perchlorate. So now let's go ahead and we'll just go around the room again, filling in the fluorinated acids. Cassandra, we'll start with you. HFO, AQ. Hypofluorous acid. And what would you name this ion, Terry?
Hypofluorite.
Hypofluorite is correct. HFO2, aqueous. Adam? Fluorous acid. And its anion, Ricardo? Fluorite. And again, this is where spelling and enunciation become really important. Fluorite, fluoride, they're different. Fluoride is just the F by itself, F minus 1. Okay, how about the next one? Fluoric acid, Daisy. Ick goes to 8. You ick up if you ate too much. Fluorate. And again, watch the spelling. UO, not flour, right? How about the next one, Brian? Perfluoric acid. Tim?
Hyper.
Yeah, it's not hyper, it's just per.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfluorite.
Like we think of it as coming from hyper, but we just call it perfluorate. So again, if you look at it being a halogen, we just look at the number of oxygens that we have in there. Okay, now let's take a few minutes. You can work with your groups, but don't do it on the boards. Just go ahead and work these at your seats in your groups, and then we'll go over this one.